Welcome to The Looking Glass. This reading is for Jessica, but it is also for the collective. In this reading, we're going to talk to Saint Agatha and Christ. We're going to reveal some truths about our past. We're going to talk about a lower realm and a higher realm. We will discuss Scientology and the firewall, and we will also go in depth into some of these ancient symbols presented in this piece with the swastika and the pentagram. I will add a meditation video after this video that will help us all come to balance and to truth about where we came from and where we're going. Jessica is at 12 o'clock and she is in a higher realm. She is touching the head of Christ with 4 fingers. She has a heart on her chest that looks like 2 breasts. Ancient symbolisms are all over her, including the original swastika and Ahura Mazda, the rose, and the diamond. The number 14 around 6 o'clock is significant as well. Notice 3 main characters are above, and 7 characters are below. The opposites of this piece are that the below realm is the realm of the dead, and the upper realm is the realm of life. One reflects ignorance, one reflects an awakening, one reflects death, one reflects life. One reflects judgment, and one reflects the release from prison. Allow the images within this piece and the symbolisms that it holds to serve as a magical square that will unlock truths within your subconscious mind. Let's get started with studying symbolism and how it pertains to our past and our future. Saint Agatha was much like Christ. She was tortured on a device called a tree. Her breasts were cut off to reflect 2 parallel worlds. Like Christ being nailed to a tree, Saint Agatha was also killed on a device called a tree. Saint Agatha is connected to the wheat and the bread. I believe she was the original Mary Magdalene. This is the piece I created as an 8-foot piece of art where Saint Agatha came to me many years ago. But today we're going to learn that Mary Magdalene and Saint Agatha had other names in the past as well. Let's find out those names. Osiris was cut into 14 pieces. 14 is the number of the Holy Spirit. 7 soul pieces for her, 7 soul pieces for him. The 2 breasts of Saint Agatha reflect the numbers 7 and 7, 2 parallel worlds, being cut, male from female, Adam from Eve, and this created 2 worlds of 7, one dominated by male, the other by female. 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week, 7 colors to the rainbow, 7 chakras, 7 wounds of Christ, 7 spirits of God. The following video is a clip from YouTube, and I will put their link below about how our original form is androgynous and yet also a trinity, a triangle.
I'm just gonna get to the point. Basically, we think we have the world figured out, but we don't have a clue. Let me read you another book from Plato called The Symposium, and if this doesn't drive the point home that Plato knew the answer, then I don't know what to say to you. Quote, "In the first place, let me treat of the nature of man and what has happened to it. For the original human nature was not like the present, but different. The sexes were not 2 as they are now, but originally 3 in number. There was man, woman, and the union of 2. Having a name corresponding to this double nature, which had once a real existence, but is now lost, and the word androgynous is only preserved as a term of reproach. In the second place, the primeval man was round, his back and sides forming a circle, and he had 4 hands and 4 feet. 1 head, with 2 faces looking opposite ways, set on a round neck and precisely alike, also 4 ears, 2 privy members, and the remainder to correspond. He could walk upright as men do, backwards or forwards as he pleased, and he could also roll over and over at a great pace, turning on his 4 hands and 4 feet, 8 in all, like tumblers going over and over with their legs in the air. This was when he wanted to run fast. Now the sexes were 3, and such as I have described them, because the sun, moon, and earth are 3, and the man was originally the child of the sun, the woman of the earth, and the man-woman of the moon, which is made up of the sun and the earth. And they were all round and moved round and round, like their parents. Terrible was their might and strength, and the thoughts of their hearts were great, and they made an attack upon the gods. Doubt reigned in the celestial councils. Should they kill them and annihilate the race with thunderbolts, as they had done the giants, then there would be an end of the sacrifices and worship which men offered to them. But on the other hand, the gods could not suffer their insolence to be unrestrained.
At last, after a good detail of reflection, Zeus discovered a way. He said, "Methinks I have a plan which will humble their pride and improve their manners. Men shall continue to exist, but I will cut them in 2, and they will be diminished in strength and increased in numbers. This will have the advantage of making them more profitable to us. They shall walk upright on 2 legs, and they shall continue insolent and will not be quiet. I will split them again, and they shall hop about on 1 single leg." He spoke and cut men in 2, like a sorb apple which is halved for pickling, or as you might divide an egg with a hair. And as he cut them, one after another, he bade Apollo give the face and the half of the neck a turn in order that man might contemplate the section of himself. He would thus learn a lesson of humility. Apollo was also bidden to heal their wounds and compose their forms. So he gave a turn to the face and pulled the skin from the sides all over which in our language is called the belly, like purses which draw in, and he made 1 mouth at the center, which he fastened in a knot, the same which is called the navel. He also molded the breast and took out most of the wrinkles, much as a shoemaker might smooth leather upon a last. He left a few, however, in the region of the belly and navel, as a memorial of the primeval state. After the division, the 2 parts of man, each desiring his other half, came together, and throwing their arms about one another, entwined in a mutual embraces, longing to grow into one. They were on the point of dying from hunger and self-neglect, because they did not like to do anything apart. And when one of the halves died, and the other survived, the survivor sought another mate. Man or woman, as we call them, being the sections of entire men or women, and clung to that. They were being destroyed. Then Zeus, in pity of them, invented a new plan. He turned the parts of generation round to the front, for this had not always been their position. And they sowed the seed no longer as hitherto like grasshoppers in the ground, but in one another. And after the transposition, the male generated in the female in order that by the mutual embraces of man and woman they might breed, and the race might continue. Or if man came to man, they might be satisfied and rest and go their ways to the business of life. So ancient is the desire of one another which is implanted in us, reuniting our original nature, making one of 2, and healing the state of man. Each of us, when separated, having one side only like a flat fish, is but the indenture of a man, and he is always looking for his other half. Men, who are a section of that double nature which was once called androgynous, are lovers of women. Adulterers are generally of this breed, and also adulterous women who lust after men. The women who are a section of the woman do not care for men, but have female attachments. This female companions are of this sort. But they who are a section of the male follow the male, and while they are young, being slices of the original man, they hang about men and embrace them, and they are themselves the best of boys and youths, because they have the most manly nature. Some indeed assert that they are shameless, but this is not true, for they do not act thus from any.
So notice the 2 breasts of Saint Agatha sitting in a circle, like a reality. Notice that she has no hair and that she is covering all her private parts. Notice also that the sun and the moon and the earth seem to be the same size. The Trinity, and how earth, moon, and sun were as one. Notice on the seal of Solomon that the triangles reflect the Trinity, and these two triangles make a wall. The wall below is water, and the wall above reflects fire. But why would Solomon present himself as a man when we know that man and woman cannot be separated? If you look at the beard of Solomon, it actually reflects MW, man, woman. And if you look closer, you can see the woman coming out of a volcano on his beard. Whatever philosophies or religions we adopt, we must look for the female and the male in order to find the bullseye, which is truth. You have the number 1111 in your piece and the swastika, and this is taking us to the two towers. The two towers reflect the twin flame, and it reflects Adam and Eve, water and fire, male and female, flesh and spirit. 911 equals 11, and you can see 1111 in the reflection in the water, like Solomon. Solomon had two poles in his temple, and these two poles are reflective of the two towers. The two towers that were on fire like a twin flame were represented here in the 1979 Supertramp album. If you put the mirror up to the album, you could see the number 911. 9/11 was known to happen before it happened. And the two towers is about a splitting of our souls. Many major companies showcase this number 11 as two towers falling down, like the Marriott symbol. The letter M being the Marriott, two towers falling out or falling down, and the letter T's are two 11s standing up. Even our police officers wear the two towers falling down as a number 11 as the stripes of police officers. Some of these stripes actually look like a mirror of two towers falling into each other. 1111. And I think, Jessica, that your piece is suggesting that Christ was androgynous, the original Adam and Eve. So your piece as a mirror reflects the Trinity, the male in the center and the two females on the side, the original form. Now notice the very top of the head of Christ looks like a scarab beetle, a flying beetle, and how it looks like this symbol that is in your piece. It just so happens that the symbol in your piece is the original swastika. It kind of looks like a cup or a holy grail. And the swastika, in negative terms, is in front of a sun or a moon. The female that beholds the original swastika comes from Armenia. Her name is Anahit. And it's interesting that she beholds one of the first swastikas because Mithra is connected to Armenia, and Mithra was the Christ before the Jesus Christ in our Christian religion. He was born a virgin. Being born of a virgin is an androgynous person. And he died and resurrected and is connected to the 12 chariots and the 12 disciples. So the original Christ was Mithra, and then Jesus Christ took over. The five-pointed star beholds both negative and positive meanings. The ears of the goat reflecting female genitalia, and the male in the center is just like your piece, as a mirror. The male in the center and the two females on the side. In alchemy, the pentagram with the goat reflects our godhood, not knowing that we have the ability to climb up out of a low density, ignorant reality, and to step into our godhood by finding our balance and finding truth so that we can use both male, female, and spiritual aspects in order to bring life to the world that seems dead. So the pentagram, or the star with the 5 points, is the absolute sign of human intelligence. I find it strange that they call it human intelligence when really we shouldn't see ourselves as an individual. We are actually a collective, and we have many abilities if we can bring forward the male and female energies along with the spirit, flesh and spirit. The pentagram expresses the mind's domination over the elements, and it is the sign that we bind the demons of the air, the spirits of fire, the scepters or the specters of water, and the ghosts of the earth. It is the star of the Magi, the burning star of the Gnostic schools. It is the sign of intelligence. The letters of the 5 points of the stars reflect the original name of Jehovah. It is the symbol of the Holy Spirit. But I will say that the dark ones use it for dark purposes. But what man intends for evil, the God in you intends for good. And we always shift lies into truth, death into life. And this is the power of the female. The female has the power to birth life. Adopting the female aspect can take what is evil and transform it into good and life. So to be polarized and to vilify symbols and swastikas is a male way of looking at things. The female is the creator that can birth life into symbols and ideals that seem harsh or dead. Ahura Mazda is the male logical side that reflects wisdom, dominating our chaotic emotions with the logic of our minds. The builder, the power to build and create worlds. Ahura Mazda is connected to Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism. Ahura Mazda was gathered in a triad with Mithra and Anahita. So here again, we're going back to Anahita and Mithra. And these two images and energies are connected to the swastika and our original androgynous nature. Also, that we had wings, kind of like Maleficent. So the male, the female, and the spirit as a trinity. Ahura Mazda has the wings. So when we connect with Mithra or Anahita or Ahura Mazda or the swastika, we are really connecting with wanting to balance male, female, and spirit within us, receive the truths from their downloads, their energy that can connect with us. Some people shift Ahura Mazda into the god of war, and I think that this is an extreme perception of Ahura Mazda, as really Ahura Mazda is about embracing who we were and using that energy to save the world and ourselves, basically to escape a prison. And sometimes this prison is within our minds. If we believe that we are female or male or spirit, then we are incorrect. The Zoroastrian tradition was that at the age of 30, Zoroaster received a revelation while fetching water at dawn for a sacred ritual. What I don't like about these gods, whether it's the person in charge of Scientology or our religion or Christian religion or Islam, is that they're dominated by male. The female cannot be removed, otherwise it is false. The Holy Spirit cannot be removed, otherwise it is false. And it's funny because your piece actually embodies the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And where's the mother in all of this? Give us today our daily bread is connected to Saint Agatha. She is the bread of life. She is the breast. And you are the breast in the Lord's Prayer. The Saint Agatha, the female that was taken from our current religion. All of the battles that we see is always a battle of either misunderstanding or the fight between male and female. The males that go to war and kill need the female to bring energies back to life, to heal a misunderstanding, to heal an imbalance, and to heal chaos back into order. The male cannot birth life. They can take life, but they do not birth life. That's the job of the female. So if you're a male and all of your intentions are being killed, you need to adopt the female to bring things within your intentions to life. The Holy Spirit will balance the center and show you the divine order of God and a divine path outside of your personal intentions. See this swastika with a pyramid, and then above the pyramid is that X? That is the symbol that you have in your piece. These are the original swastikas. And my friend John has an interpretation of it as well. And the spinning swastika was the Odin. So I'm showing you some examples here of male and female energies of ancient sculptures that have the swastika on it, and the swastika really reflecting 4 realms, 2 upper realms, 2 lower realms, male and female, the pyramid, the sun, the moon, all of it. So in Armenia, Anahit is the mother, the goddess of fertility and love, the daughter of Ahura Mazda. And when you read about her being the great queen, she's really about bringing back to life that which was dead. This includes knowledge and our transcendence, growing our spirit. The right-handed swastika is different than a left-handed swastika. The right-handed is the symbol of God Vishnu and the sun, and the left-handed swastika is the symbol of goddess Kali and magic. But I would have to say that it is the goddess of Armenia. One reflecting male, one reflecting female. And as they spin, they become as one, and the spinning is spirit that helps with transcendence, like a Merkaba. And like the pentagram is viewed as negative when pointing downwards and positive when pointing upwards. It's the same thing as the swastika. Don't take the word negative as being literally negative. It just means a polar opposite, male and female. In Buddhism, the swastika is a symbol of good fortune, prosperity, abundance, and eternity. Actually, I believe all cultures believe in the good luck of the swastika. Apollo is seen here with the swastika on their chest, with Apollo looking both male and female. The horses representing 4 realms, 2 lower realms, 2 upper realms. And the swastika also is reflected with well-being, health. It wasn't always called swastika. Like in China, it's called wan, or manji in Japan, or filfot in England. Notice this Buddha sitting on top of hearts, and the hearts look like lilies, and the lilies are significant and connected to the swastika, and you have the swastika inside a heart. So you have a lot of ancient energy in the blueprint of your soul. So Odin is seen passing through space as a whirling disc or swastika looking down through all the worlds. And even in North America, the swastika was used by the Navajos. From what I'm seeing, it's more the female that is wearing the swastika than males. I believe that the swastika is life itself. And I know that the flying beetle has a meaning behind it in Egyptian mythology and the Egyptian gods. But according to your reading, it has something more to do with telepathy and the ability to fly your mind to the mind of God or to anyone. I did a piece of art a long time ago of a sacred female trapping the male energy inside a box. Inside the box is the number 11, and her legs makes 2 towers falling over like another number 11. The stars above her tail makes 11 stars, and her hair makes the number 1111. Her elbow makes the symbol of Venus. And the reason I am presenting this with you is because there's symbols of a female being from Armenia at 6 o'clock, and how originally the female dominated the male. Or at least we go through a polar shift where the male dominates and then suddenly the female dominates. I'm wondering if there's ever a time when the Holy Spirit dominates both male and female, thereby all of us coming together under one divine voice that shifts us away from mind and logic and chaos and emotional polarity to a divine voice of God, the dog, and that is the Holy Spirit, the number 14, uniting both worlds as one. And if we all heard the voice of the Holy Spirit, which is frequency, sound, and water, then we wouldn't be polarized by religion, male or female energies. We would unite as one voice that hears that one and divine voice of God. And that is what seems to be presented here for you. Now, you asked what Spirit is telling you to do, and you're wearing a nurse's cap. Saint Agatha is connected to the nurse. You're pointing at a cornerstone on top of the head of Christ. He is the cornerstone, and this cornerstone is also within your heart. So that you are pointing at the head, this is also about mental health. You are still supposed to help people in the mental health industry as a social worker or as a nurse. The problem is you have to learn how to protect yourself and awaken to both the male and female aspects within yourself. You have to increase your knowledge and become the adept male and female energy that knows the unseen world and can see with spiritual eyes. The heart chakra that you are going through is cleaning you of all that is false and bringing you into the light of truth, the truth of male, female, and spirit, the three aspects of yourself. The flame that is being held by the individual at around 8 o'clock is the flame of God. It is the Holy Spirit that is dominating the male and female energies in the lower realm. The lower realm holds human beings dominated by murder, child molestation, alcoholism, the falseness of the mask, thieves, liars, and the weasel. So you have to know who you are dealing with when you're dealing with human beings. Are they below the wall or are they above the wall? If they do not know that they are telepathic and that their thoughts and their actions infect others like a virus, then they do not hold the sacred scarab flying beetle, because they cannot fly and be free because they aren't allowed to. They are a virus by their own doing, and they will not be allowed above the wall until they awaken to the Holy Spirit, which will lead them in a divine way. In Scientology, the lightning looks like the number 1111 in the SS Nazi symbol, but it is also the symbol of Zeus, Zeus condemning us. And the lightning goes into a spiral, and this spiral is about a spell or a curse. There are many truths in Scientology, but I believe that they leave out the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is a spirit within each of us and surrounds all of us like a web and speaks to all of us. And this Holy Spirit has to be obeyed because this spirit is a time traveler and knows all truths and knows the butterfly effect. It is not by our own will that we come above the wall, but the will of Spirit, which tells us that we are ready. We have to be called and chosen. I want to give you faith that you are called and chosen. You're just going through an awakening. You need to leave the world of the muggles, the munchkins, and the people who aren't ready, the dead people, behind. And you will become the person that will help revive them in divine timing. And God, Spirit, will lead you to the individuals who are ready to come above the wall. You will become the Saint Agatha and the mother that comes back to life and bringing others back to life. If you do not hear this divine order of God currently, then this is why you are in the heart chakra and the swastika. You are learning to hear that voice so that you obey a divine order of God, the number 14, the Holy Spirit, and not male or female only, not mind only, not heart only, but the unity of heart and mind, male and female, the Holy Spirit. This reading should fill you with faith and hope that you have been called and chosen. Please watch for a video that I'm making just for you. It is a meditation that will help to bridge you to the eye of the needle, the neutrality, the nothing, and this nothing will lead you to everything. Thank you for what you have to teach us, Jessica, about the truth of our origins and our future. If you would like a reading, go to forestfairy.com.